Big mighty God did it again. You woke up on the right side of the dirt, so let's give God a praise. This is John Lakin and Friends. What's up, everybody? This is your boy John Lakin, and welcome to John Lakin and Friends. Happy Sunday and welcome to John Lakin and Friends. We have an incredible show lined up for you today, and we're about to lift up a praise. I'm in love with Jesus. Hallelujah. 2, 3. I want the world to know.
I want the world to know that I'm in love with you.
Say, you make my spirit sing.
You make my spirit sing.
At times when I feel
times when I feel blue.
And God, I love you more and more each day.
More and more.
Yes, Lord. What's up, everybody? This is John Lakin, and welcome to the John Lakin and Friends Show. I am so excited to have one of our premier voices in gospel music, my big brother, Vashawn Mitchell. What's going on, good brother?
What up? What up? You got your own TV show, brother.
Man, oh man, I'm glad to have you on my TV show. What you talking about? Listen, man, honored to have you. First off, let's talk about your songwriting expertise. One of the first songs I ever taught a choir when I had my group, our first anniversary concert, we were singing Trouble Don't Last Always, man. So you are a premier writer of great gospel music. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, a lot of people don't know. I started, just writing for my church choir. I wasn't even over it yet, but I started writing and, Bishop Trotter trusted me to practice on the church on a regular basis. So I'll just write a song, we'll learn it and sing it on Sundays, or we'll go out and sing it even before we started recording. So two of the first songs I ever wrote was Only a Test and What's to Come is Better Than What's Been. And then from there, Trouble Won't Last, My Worship is For Real, and on and on and on. But I was writing for my church choir. I didn't know what I had was bigger than where I was until it became songs that people sang, like you said, outside of Chicago. But it was really my assignment at church.
I would often tell people that songwriting gives a language to people who may not know how to talk to God. They may not even know how to pray, but they can sing a song. And sometimes we become that bridge for them. And your songs like My Worship is For Real, I've seen a lot of college choirs really portray that message so powerfully. So like, where were you in your spirit space when that song was birthed?
The song is probably college age. You know, I was 20 something. And honestly, I was one of those that was at church all the time and at every service when it was open. But I was also, trying to hang out in the streets and getting in a little trouble at the time. And I ended up driving on suspended license and, doing the stuff that young kids do. Yeah. And I got stopped by the police in a bad area. And the judge told me when I went to court, I thought I was going to get off. I had all the letters from the preachers. I was like, I'm going to be out of here. And the judge said, you know what? You can have all the letters you want, but I have to teach you a lesson. And I understand the lesson. So, he locked me up for about 7 days. And in those 7 days, I actually had an experience with God that you're either going to live for me or abort your destiny. So I started writing literally in that little Bible with a little pencil on it. For those of y'all that have been to jail before, I started writing, you don't know my story, all the things I've been through, because, a lot of times people saw me up front, directing, singing and shouting and dancing with the rest of them. But they didn't understand that there's a story that came behind it. But my worship is for real because God saw everything and he still loved me, and that's where it came from. And I believe that a lot of people experience that. Some songs are revelational and meet people where they are. And as they hear it, they live it. And that's what that song did.
Man, oh man, listen, one of my absolute favorite songwriters and an incredible artist and gift to the kingdom, my big brother, Vashawn Mitchell. We love you so much, man. Thank you for being on John Lakin and Friends. Yes, sir. All right, much more coming right after this.
Clean by Design is a full-service cleaning company specializing in floor care for commercial properties with dry times of 90 minutes or less. Our carpet service is perfect for your business, serving Sumter, Columbia, and the surrounding areas. Give us a call at 803-847-5595 or visit cleanbydesignsc.com for a free quote. Now we will have our wellness moment with MAXWELL of INDIGO Consulting.
There are over 400,000 plus South Carolinians who are not voting. Voting is important, but let me tell you why. Who you vote for determines how much you pay in taxes. Who you vote for also determines how much funding goes towards K through 12 education. Who you vote for also determines the type of health care and whether you can afford health care in your state. If you are ready for a better South Carolina, a more progressive South Carolina, then it is important that you are making sure that you are registered to vote, other citizens are registered to vote, and we are educating people on why we should be voting. Voting deals with every aspect of your life, so please join me in being a voting citizen of the state of South Carolina. I am Bree Maxwell, and this has been your Wellness Moment with John Lakin and Friends.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends. Right now, we're about to have a special segment called I'm Still Standing. We have some powerful testimonies from some powerful young men in our community. Both of them are my cousins, Jerme Johnson, the first friend I ever had, and the best singer I know, and my big tough guy firefighter cousin, Everette Scott. So listen, guys, how are y'all doing today?
Doing good, man.
Man, I'm honored to have y'all on the show today. So let's jump right in. First off, I want to start with, how was life before you experienced the trauma that changed your life?
Well, life was good, man. I was in college, playing sports, and everything was going well, man.
So what was life for you before your accident?
I mean, like I said, I grew up normal, playing around, being a boy, I graduated high school as soon as I got out, went to the military. After about the first couple of years ended up in Afghanistan.
Wow.
3 years in the 3 year time frame. Came back home, worked, live a pretty normal life, man.
So what kind of work were you doing?
Mostly driving trucks. I was a firefighter for a few years. I really enjoyed that job, but my passion was out there on that road, being in those trucks, man.
I got you.
Yeah, so.
All right, so now let's go to the day that your life changed forever. Do you remember the date?
It was actually February the 20th, back in 2006.
Wow.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
Wow.
It's been a minute.
So set up the day. What was the day like?
Well, actually, that particular day, we actually had service at church that night. So went to church, and after church was over, he came back, picked me up, and after we left there, he found out there was an issue with the CD deck in the car. He had just installed a brand new CD deck in the car, so we went to Best Buy to get the issue resolved. Went to Best Buy, and they found out he had a wire that was connected wrong. So he, instead of letting the people at the store reinstalling the CD deck, he did it himself. So we left there, we came to my grandmother's house to pick my sister up. So once we picked my sister up, we were actually on the way home, riding down I-77.
Wow.
And literally, as soon as we got off on the on-ramp, the entire CD deck popped out.
Jesus.
So he was driving, and he caught the CD deck with his right hand. He was trying to push it back in as he was driving, so it wouldn't go back in. So he ended up taking the other hand off the wheel, and he leaned all the way down. He was trying to see how to put it back in the dashboard.
Wow. And this is all while he's driving on the interstate.
Yeah.
Wow.
But little did he know the car was actually heading directly for the guardrail that was located on the curb.
Jesus.
We hit the guardrail, and on the impact, his head hit the dashboard area, and the back of the car literally flew up in the air. And when it flew up in the air, it threw me up out of the seat, and my back hit the roof of the car.
From the inside.
From the inside. And the car swung. It swung around the guardrail, and it threw me towards the window on the passenger side in the back. And the last thing I saw was me flying toward the window. And all of us were thrown out the vehicle.
All three of you were ejected from the vehicle.
All three of us. So I tried to crawl over and tried to crawl up to the road, but in the process of doing that, there was a pain that shot down my lower back and around my left side.
And that's when you knew something was
I knew something was wrong. My brother-in-law, who was actually laying on the passenger side of the car by the back tire.
Jesus.
And he heard me, and he started telling me, I'm about to die, brother-in-law, I'm about to die. And so he just continued to say that, and I kept telling him, man, don't say that, man. Stop saying that, man. Say you're gonna live, man. Say you're gonna live. And he was laying face down in the dirt, holding his neck like this.
Oh my God.
So he continued to say, I'm about to die for about 10 minutes, and then he just stopped talking. So I called his name, he didn't say anything. Called his name again, he didn't say anything.
And you could feel, or you knew something.
I knew he was gone. I immediately knew he was gone because he wasn't moving anymore, and
Jesus.
I could look and see that he wasn't breathing anymore.
Jesus.
So I knew he was gone. So my mind, started to race, being that he had just transpired. Okay, now where's my sister?
Wow, yeah.
I didn't see her anywhere. A South Carolina Department of Transportation worker came and stood over me.
Jesus.
And he asked me, he was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I was like, he was like, "Well, what about your buddy over there?" I said, "That's my brother-in-law. He just died about 10 minutes before you got here." And so I asked him, I said, "Do you see my sister?" And he said she was laying up by the road.
So after that, of course, you're in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the hospital. When did you receive the news or know that the doctors did not have a good report concerning you walking again?
So the doctor came in, and I was just laying there. They came in, and he went to the foot of the bed and used a utensil and said, "Tell me if you can feel this." And so he rubbed it underneath the bottom of my feet. I didn't feel anything.
Jesus.
So I told him, I said, "No, I don't feel anything." So he did the other foot, and said, "Tell me if you can feel this." He did it. I said, "I don't feel anything." So he literally said, that the injury wasn't permanent, but he said it was an incomplete injury. So at that point, I'm not understanding, what's being said, because I was still taken aback by the fact that I couldn't feel anything. So when he said it, I was kind of zoned out. And so my headspace was what is really happening here? So I was in that moment, I was messed up, man.
I'm sure.
Mentally, I was messed up.
You just lost your brother-in-law. Your sister, who was thrown near the road, her injuries were also of a nature where she was unable to walk after the accident also. So she's paralyzed right now currently from the waist down also. So let's talk about that headspace. Like, share with us as much as you can how you had to fight the darkness of that moment.
So I literally had to pull on, what I've been taught over the years, growing up in church and stuff, man. And, I had to learn to lean on my faith, in that moment. Because it was a lot of questions, forming in my mind, and, just hearing, discouraging thoughts in my head. And so at that moment, I literally had to come to the realization of this was for a purpose.
Come on.
And so ever since that particular moment, I've been living on that. I've been living by that. That everything in life happens for a purpose.
Hey, I'm making a call to all the artists out there. Listen, if you have TV-ready material that you want to share with the Carolinas, listen, we would love to feature your music right here on John Lakin and Friends. Please submit your inquiries to johnlakinandfriends@gmail.com. We'd love to feature you right here. Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends. We have just heard an incredible testimony from my cousin and my brother, Jerme Johnson. Now we're going to get to my cousin on my daddy's side, Everette Scott. Man, I'm honored to have you here today, man. So we talked about the beginning of how you were working with truck driving as well as being a firefighter, and all of these jobs require strength. They require discipline and training. So I want you to take us back to the day of your trauma, the day that your life changed forever. Do you remember the date?
September 22nd, 2019.
Wow, that's not too long ago.
Wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, so bring us into that day. What was going on? What happened?
Probably like 9, 10 o'clock at this time at night. Rode my bike all the way down to Eastover. Hung out over there for a little while. And it was me, Travaris, and John. We were leaving out. We stopped at the end of the 7 Mile Road. People don't know what the 7 Mile Road is.
You got to be from EO to know about that. Eastover.
It's right there coming out of Eastover. It take you from the heart all the way back to Garner's Ferry. So we stopped right there where it used to be a store. We stayed there for like 5-10 minutes. And we peeled out from there, all of us on our bikes, on Garner's Ferry heading towards Columbia. Like, I say a minute after we pulled off. Like, I didn't see her coming. I remember seeing my cousin. I remember seeing him lean his bike out of the way, and I felt the impact. As far as I know, I didn't get knocked out. I felt like I was up and experienced the whole ordeal. God. So, I mean, like I said, I felt the impact. I felt me tumbling, rolling on the ground and whatnot. And when I stopped, tried to get up, and like Jerme did, he felt that funny pain. He felt like something went right, and I looked down and saw what my leg was missing, and Jesus. I was like, dang. First thing I said to myself, I was like, man, I ain't think it was gonna end like this.
Oh my God.
Because from my training from the military and like doing stuff with the fire department, the number one cause of death out there, like on the battlefield and whatnot, is hemorrhaging, bleeding out.
Wow.
And that takes seconds.
Wow.
And when I saw my injuries, like I just knew like my artery was wide open, just the blood was just falling right out. So I didn't think I had much time left. But I mean, I held on, man. I remember John, as soon as I stopped, I looked up, John was down there. As soon as he grabbed my hand, like, man, bro, I ain't think it was going like this. I ain't gonna make it. Like, man, don't say that. And his wife came over, Shonte, and she told me everything about your daughter. Don't hold on. Ear, knees are dead. And I mean, I held on to that all the way to the hospital, and that's when I finally blacked out.
Wow. Wow. So incredible pain, incredible trauma, incredible impact.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I felt nothing while I was on the side of that road.
What?
If I would have left the earth that night, I would have left in peace, bro.
Oh
no
my
matter
God.
how bad the scene looked or I tore up my leg or whatnot was, I felt nothing.
Wow.
That's God. Let's talk about your therapy and your recovery plan. Like, how did that pull on your drive for life as it related to what you would have to do in order for you to become strong enough to recover?
I'll tell you this, the amount of, like, you know how people always say you need to get your flowers while you're living?
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I got my flowers because the amount of support and like encouragement that I had waking up in the hospital and like still to this day, like it's been very, very tremendous in my recovery. And like, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it without all the family and friends and even strangers, like people I never knew, reaching out, wishing me the best, wishing for a speedy recovery and all that stuff. So that was very helpful. As far as my prosthetic, my brother Todd, like the day after I got hurt, he was already looking it up, researching how the stuff going, all that stuff. But I didn't even want to think about it. I didn't like even think about a prosthetic till I got to rehab. And that's when I started doing my research. But I got the picture in my phone, man. The day that I got hope and knew that I would be all right.
Come on.
Sallie and John Lakin walked in there.
Come on.
John came in there with that cane.
Yes, sir.
And them 2 prosthetics. I said, shoot. Like I never knew.
Wow.
I never knew he had 2, but when I saw that, I knew I had a chance.
All right, so just for this last few moments, I want you to look in the camera right here. And I want you to encourage somebody who is finding themselves at a place of starting over. You know, go ahead.
So I say this. I'm gonna piggyback off with Jerme one more time.
Man,
live with a purpose.
Yes, sir.
And like you say, God got the plan. You just got to follow.
That is powerful. Listen, let me tell you, the trauma and the injuries that these young men have encountered, with them is visible and is physical. But for so many, they are dealing with mental battles, spiritual battles that have caused you to be at a point where you feel like you are lacking or losing something. We just wanted to come and bring encouragement today to let you know that after all you have been through, we all can together say that we are still standing.
Have survived 100% our worst days to this point.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on. That's a good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
I've had some good days.
Whoa.
And I've had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days.
Yes, sir.
And some sleepless nights. But when I look around,
Hallelujah.
and I think things over, all of my good days, they outweigh my bad days. So I won't complain.
Listen, thank y'all so much for being here for our Still Standing moment. Man, there's more to come right after this.
Good morning, everybody. My name's John Lakin. I just wanted to ask y'all to go subscribe to my Uncle John's YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so y'all can get notified whenever a video is posted. And also, make sure you visit his website at www.johnlakin.com. My name's John Lakin, and I'm here with John Lakin and Friends. Indeed.
Today has been absolutely incredible, and we thank you so much for joining in and watching John Lakin and Friends.